Underinsurance is a major issue globally, and one of the common areas that you'll find underinsurance is within the values set for your buildings as well as plant and equipment. Now, just because your building cost $1 million to build 10 years ago, it doesn't mean it'll cost you that same $1 million to rebuild it today. Andrew Nock from Andrew Nock Valuers was kind enough to sit down and explain some of the issues that need to be considered when setting the correct sum insured. Enjoy.
CPI will tell you that over the last 3 or 4 years, CPI has gone up by 7 or 8% over the last 4 years for buildings and plant and equipment. But the building price index could tell you otherwise, 24 to 25%. But when it comes to plant and equipment's very subject to the Australian dollar and also the American dollar and the euro dollar. So currency fluctuations have a major bearing on plant and equipment insurance valuations. Well, it's like when Darwin cyclone took place and other cyclones, building costs in that area or that location will increase dramatically because there'll be a lack of builders and a huge amount of work for rebuilding. So building costs could increase by 50 to 60%, if not more. And obviously the time or the length of building will increase as well. So you get building cost increase and time delays, which can have a major bearing on the building. There's no rule of thumb. But at the same time, clients in that area have to be very aware that they've got to be careful of brokers coming from out of state and offering a low service at low cost, but also a low building result at the end of the building stage. So make sure that the clients stick to well-known builders within their area. Steve, I would say to brokers that we always find that clients are always too happy to get valuations done on their building or their buildings, and they don't care too much about plant and equipment, but I think they should place the same importance on plant and equipment valuations as they do with their buildings. But I think brokers have a very hard position to get their clients to spend money in the first place. For that reason, we're only too happy to provide written proposals to the client, and they know where they stand. And the broker also has that backing if something goes wrong or the client doesn't get valuations done and the client does have a loss. So the broker has that written proof of a proposal. But I think, at the end of the day, the clients have to listen to the broker and have to spend a few $1,000s that could save them millions of dollars at the time of a future loss. Well, as I said before, I find clients and brokers are too happy to push or to get valuations done on their buildings. They might have a $5 million building, but inside they have a $50 million worth of plant and equipment. And they don't care enough about getting valuations done on their plant and machinery. They don't think about the importance of the dollar, on the currency fluctuation on imported plant machinery. And they also don't think about how long it's going to take to get new machinery back into their factory after a loss. And in the case of printing equipment, it could be 12 to 15 months. Injection moulding machines, 6 to 12 months, and could be worse in other scenarios. So I would warn brokers and their clients to seriously consider getting valuations done on their plant machinery as much as they do for their buildings as well. Steve, I think the first mistake they make is they don't get valuations done in the first place. And we have said for so long that 70% of Australian businesses are either totally underinsured or not insured in the first place. So as valuers, we try and help the brokers or try and teach their clients to get valuations done in the first place. But underinsurance is a major issue in relation to buildings and plant and equipment. I think we find too often the clients rely on valuations done a long time ago, perhaps 5 or 10 years ago, and have done their own increases, and they've relied on CPI increases. And we find that the building price index, which is the BPI, is much higher than the CPI. So in many events, if these clients are using old valuations, the increases they're adopting are way under what should be the acceptable building price index over a period of time, Steve. So by doing it themselves, they're putting themselves in a position where they can be totally underinsured at the time of a loss. Well, we always offer a 3-year valuation program, so we always try and get our clients to get revaluations done every 3 to 4 years. And in our 3-year program, we go on site the first year and do the full inspections. And the next 2 years, we send out a letter at the time of renewals saying what the increase should be for the next 12 months. So We are trying to get clients to get valuations done every 3 to 4 years. That ticks all the boxes. They have proof of identification, in the event of a loss for their buildings, for their plant and equipment. We have asset registers in the event of a loss for plant and equipment, and also for fine arts and antiques, which we provide valuations for. So we always talk to the client before we send out a proposal, be it a new proposal or an old one. So we are fully aware what the client has, what changes have happened over the last 3 or 4 years. Or in the event of a new client, we always talk to them. We know, or we do a pre-inspection before we provide our proposal to them. So we've done our homework before we provide our proposal to the client. They always, if they've done additions to their buildings or they've got new plant and equipment or fine arts, antiques, what these, they always should talk to us so we can make allowance for that new equipment or the new assets that they have purchased. See, we're only too happy for the clients or the brokers to talk to us direct, and we'll follow that up with our written proposal to them. We're only too happy for the clients and brokers to talk to LMI, who we have a great association with, both pre and post loss. And either way, we'll talk to the client and talk to the broker and provide the best option to them in relation to insurance valuations on their buildings, plant machinery, and also fine arts, which we offer.
A big thank you to Andrew for his time. If you'd like to get in contact with Andrew or any of his team, there'll be a link below in the description. Click here for another video he did, give us a thumbs up if you found this helpful, comment with more stuff you want to know about, and for more demystified insurance jargon, click that subscribe button.